Hello, big beautiful world. Today, a forgotten treasure, a shamefully forgotten treasure. We're at Gapuwiyak, which is Lake Evella up in Northern Territory. This is me continuing my journey around Australia. Normally I don't sort of do posts of these ones, but I'm taking up a very special aircraft that's near and dear, and like I said or alluded to, I was ashamed that I'd forgotten this for the best part of a year and a half. Anyway, we're taking it up today. We're going to fly on up to Yirrkala. It's this is the Piaggio P149D in the 50s Luftwaffe Richthofen Squadron livery. Comes up with a number of good liveries. We'll talk more about it as we get up into the air. This was considered one of the first study level aircraft for MSFS2020, and I can see why. Let me demonstrate. Okay, so you get this beautiful, wonderful pressed steel feel to the dash and all the rest of it. But right through to, let's just hop up. I'll start up and get the battery on. We want the navs, we want the meters, we want the gauges, we do want the beacon. Don't need the pitot. Do want the gyro, do want the radio, do want the radio compass. Do want comms. What are we on for transponder? We on? Yeah, okay, so no. Yep. Cool. We'll leave that as that. Don't really think we need that. I'm going to do something a little bit crumbly and not yet. Hang on, let's get it booted up. See what's what. What am I looking at, people? We got that. We got. Oh, I know what we're looking at. I know what we're looking at. Okay, so come back here. Don't need those puppies on, we've got those beasties. So that's our fuel pump, yeah?
Clear prop! Clear prop!
Give ourselves, open up the sluice gates for the juice. Theoretically, that should do it. We're good, we're good. This thing is just lovely, it's a work of art. If you're into your pipers and your GA and you want a bit more than just flick this, flick that, make sure she starts. This is a hidden gem for those of you who didn't get to see it when it was around. So you get to move your camera, you can wiggle your, turn all your UVs, your cabins on and off. We'll start getting some pushback, eh? Come off. What am I doing? Alright. Come on, Reg, what do we got? Just want to let it idle up. Not too much of a breeze at the moment, which is nice. You're locking in. Please, please, please don't give yourself a manicure at the rate we're going. Alright. Great viz all around, so amazing VR machine. That'll do, I think, Reg. Thank you. Alright, so let's get out to the airport and to out into the strip. We'll take westward, but we're going to have to we'll take a right hand circuit out to get over the water. So I imagine there's a few of you who will have seen this, and quite a few of you who possibly won't if you're watching it. for all 2 people who are watching, who will ever watch this video. This comes from a company, I don't even know if it's extant anymore, if it's defunct, a French crew. I know they were in the process, if you look at their website, they were in the process of doing the Antonov Colt, the AN2, but that was due out in 2021, so that's a long while ago. This was released in late 2020, and like I say, it comes with a number of cool liveries. Not too many liveries up on flightsim.to, but what there are some pretty good ones, some civilian ones, some additional Italian ones, Swedish trainer. You know, it's in the Scottish aviation Basset and Bulldog territory. Or you know, the what was it, the Trojan and so on and so forth, from the 50s trainer. This was kind of the Euro competitor. It actually went under 2 monikers. That of Piaggio, whose design it originally was, and then Germany built it and bought it and built it under license through, of all companies, Focke Wulf. So both acknowledged it as the 149D. So you'll see it as the FW149D or the P149D when you do come across it. Like the Pipers, for argument's sake, from Just Flight, you've got to keep an eye on things. You actually have to monitor, keep an eye on your temps and your revs and so on and so forth. But it's a sweet little beastie, and I went hard on it throughout 2020, and by about late 2020 it had just kind of, you know, it would look shiny new things, and it kind of dropped off my radar for a while. And then in early last year, about mid-20, yeah, late 2021 maybe. First of all, I just want to check something, see if we can get someone not in use. Let me have a look about that. Let me have a look about that. Come on, kid. Good viz all round. Good setups. No transponder. ADF. Ba 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 bang. Wrong. So as you can see, everything works. Truly was hailed as study level at the time. There are other aircraft, we'll get onto that. We'll shut up shop and we'll get up in the air, eh? Beautiful way, the noise dampens out. Very, very cool. Gonna get up to the Thau and then we'll chuck a right-hander, get out over the water and start making our way up to Yirrkala. Hopefully it'll only be about half an hour. We can take a low and slow. As long as we keep climbing, I'll be happy. Yeah, this is a real sweetheart, this thing. God, it's a great little machine. And the reason, like I say, I have a feeling AT Simulations may have gone under, which is a great shame, really. But that squeaking you hear is the trim wheel. I just want to keep on chugging along. We'll keep on flogging around. So the Piaggio 149 up in Genoa, built under license through Focke Wulf, used throughout the 50s as a trainer. Great little beastie to get around in. Don't know what it's compared to, stacked up to. AT Simulations, a company, also did the Yirrkala. It's a weird little, you can still purchase these. I'll include the website to link from. I'll include the link to the website, sorry. And the Yirrkala comes in float plane and wheeled version, as well as jet and props. And the props are like two little lawnmower engines. And it's quite a lot of fun to get around in. AT Simulations were really making their name there for a while. I don't know if it was COVID that drove them under, or if they are still doing something. But like I said, the Antonov seems to have stalled. They were doing stuff in the old days. They must have been around for a spell, because they did stuff for P3D and they did something for X-Plane, I think. So, you know, they've had their finger in the pie for a long, long time, that's for sure. But this thing is really, so as you can tell from the engine noise, that really beautifully thought out, beautifully constructed. As we make our way over through central Arnhem Land, up in sunny Northern Territory. But I must admit, the reason I took this up, I'd actually made the flight, or started making the flight in my ongoing peregrination around the country in B4 Gunner's Navion, single engine, the freeware version available up on .to. Now, both the Navion and the twin Navion from B4 Gunner are outstanding. The single, being freeware, it's got the lower poly count, so yeah, you know, you're sacrificing textures, but the actual flight model is superb to get about in. Really a lot of fun, kooky aircraft to get around in. The twin, as far as I'm concerned, at least, is also in a class of its own. It's payware, it's not too expensive, if I recall, from a few months back, and it's also really good. It's a really sweet aircraft to get around in. But it got me thinking in the back of my mind, what was the other great trainer I had with all-round great viz, and, you know, very much like the Navion series or the Bulldog. And then I realised with a kind of spark of shame that, oh my god, it was the old FW149D. And I thought, wow. And then I realised I hadn't had it downloaded since I bought my new PC at the beginning of last year. And I set about rectifying that. So I went over to the website and had a look and realised you don't actually log into it to make your purchase. You actually buy it through a kind of one of those generic third-party PayPal joints. So then I trawled through my emails and found the AT Simulation one, and you know, the link for the download, and that didn't work. So, you know, you click the link and nothing happens. So I thought, oh wow, okay. So I tried it in Edge, Microsoft Edge. I was running Chrome, by the way. So this is just in case this sort of shit happens to you guys, yeah. So yeah, I took it over to Microsoft Edge and it started downloading, and it took almost 2.5 hours to download the 400 meg file. Now, where I come from, where I'm living, that thing should have taken maybe about 10 minutes. So I'm not sure what that was all about. and then the file's incomplete. So I went back to my beloved Google Chrome and I simply copied the link, hyperlink, and pasted it into a fresh page, and sure enough the file started downloading and I got to reinstall it and load up my old license and all the rest of it. So here we are, all working and working beautifully. But if you do have trouble with your downloading browser or pop-ups or anything like that, or it's getting blocked by an antivirus, just try that. Try another browser and or copy out the link and try it on a, Control T and try it on a fresh page or whatever, and see how you go with that. I honestly can not recommend this highly enough. I love, you got to keep, not that I really need to keep, there we go. Should have actually had them open. We're up here in the Northern Territory. It's a bit stinky and hot as far as I know. It is Christmas up that way, or New Year up that way, so it'll have a temperature. Don't even have, here's another thing, see little things like this, the generator. You can have your generator on. Turn the fuel pump off. Beautiful. Beautiful. So it gives you a fair heads up on what's going down. A bit like the Piper, you've got to really keep your eye on everything. Constantly checking everything. But it's worth it. It's just a super sweet aircraft to get about in. And in fact, yeah, I don't know, in the tsunami, the barrage of great things that we can get for the simulator, and could from day one. Because like I said, this was a 2020 release. It came out mere months after the simulator itself had come out. So I really do hope that what are we looking at? 90, we really need to be coming over a bit more. I really do hope that AT Simulations is still around, because based around this, and I did get the Kiki, and that's a joy to fly out of as well, but this thing, it's in a league of its own in a lot of ways, like the Just Flight stuff, or like the PMDG stuff. But this is technically over 2 years old now, and I'm gobsmacked at how much it still stands up, how much it just feels really right to get about in. And there's, like I said, there are plenty of cool liveries for it. The only downside is, you pay into a generic PayPal account to get hold of it. But once that's all sussed and sorted and you're comfortable with the mechanics, just make sure you've backed up your install file in case you ever need to reload it. Keep it somewhere safe, as we tend to do with all our files. Because let's face it, I mean, we've probably all acquired over 1,000 bloody add-ins by now. Payware, freeware, whatnot. I don't use an add-on manager. I don't really feel obliged to. My rig is pretty solid, so, and in fact that's for the years I've specifically bought my machines to kind of make it, I guess, to make the most of simulators, because flight sims tend to push PCs the hardest, even above and beyond, well, everything from Photoshop to SQL. So yeah, I can't recommend this highly enough. I think it clocks in at around $24-25 US. So when I got this, it was about $32 Oz, I think. I don't think it's gone up since. And I remember thinking back then in late 2020 or early 2021, wow, it's a lot of money for an add-on aircraft. Well, weren't we all fooled, eh? But yeah, this is what I would have to call bang for the buck. Daytime, nighttime, you name it. It's a real joy to get about in. like the Focke stair and stuff like that as well. But like, I guess the closest I keep reiterating is that it's probably closest to the Just Light Arrow series, in that you just got to remain on top of it, and it just doesn't disappoint. It just doesn't disappoint at all. So you got your variables on your prop, variables on your mixture, everything feels it. I want to take her up to about 3, above all the turbulence, and we'll just keep her up around 3, I think. So anyway, I guess this has put me well past the halfway mark now. We're going around Oz. I will make, so we're heading over, so we're in Central Arnhem Land, and we're heading over to East Arnhem Land. We're heading over to Yirrkala on the coast, and then we'll make our way down around and then up through Cape Horn, I'm thinking. Maybe we might cut across. We'll see how far north we want to go with that. But I do want to see how they've done the Daintrees, or if there's any freeway for the Daintrees or somewhere up north. We might have a look at, and then we'll just make our way down the east coast of Australia until we hit sunny Melbourne again. And then I will have circumnavigated Australia, because that's just how we geek some days. It's just how we get our geek on. Good stuff. We're looking at 80 to 90. Yeah, cool. Leaving ourselves a bit of headroom. Shouldn't really take that long, hopefully, clan. I won't bore the brains. I did want to show this off, so landing lights, right and left, separate landing lights. Like I say, all the fuses work. 30 to 40 I'm happy with. It's God, I forgot how much I love this bloody thing. Honestly, I'd have to put this in my top 5 easily for a modern, or a post-war GA trainer slash VFR slash, because it does get along at a good clip. Generally your cruises up around the 140, 150 mark. I think this is in, well, it's French, so my guess it's going to be kph or knots. Oh, sorry, Italian. But yeah, that's it does get along at a decent speed. Yes, your little air vent window's open. Don't want to do that now, not that we're out over the water, but yeah. Look, if it can open or shut or click or clack or otherwise, this thing can do it by the look of it. That's your trim wheel down in the centre there. Highly irregular, but very sweet nonetheless. Wouldn't want to come down in the water over here. This is where the crocodiles eat the sharks. It's funny because here in Australia you're normally bungered up for the tourist about it being the world's deadliest island or the world's deadliest country, and that, look, it may well be true, but the truth of it is, and I said it in a few of the earlier videos, the fact of it is that it's not really, it's just a diverse and beautiful place like any other. And up here, yeah, it's well, all I really know about Northern Territory is that it's bloody hot and humid all the time. You take me much north of the New South Wales border and I just become a moody git. I'm not good with humidity. Mind you, having said that, I'd love to navigate around and, you know, I'd love to fly around Australia and do a run. I think that would be awesome. Especially like we do here in Simland, because you can actually do it in a number of super, you know, so many great aircraft. From Hawker Hunters and the Have One Vampires right back to Newports and Focke DR1s or Durand biplanes, used races, etc., etc. Now I want to try and see if we can find, I think it's YPGV. We want to come in on, okay, so we've really only got the one runway.
Yankee Papa Golf Victor traffic Mike Alpha Charlie Charlie 129er miles west, 2,200 feet inbound touch, and go left traffic runway 1 tree.
Beautiful Australian film called 10 Canoes by a South Australian director called Rolf the Heer. He made the outstandingly brilliant but still controversial film Bad Boy Bubby. But about, I think 15 years ago, he made an incredible film called 10 Canoes. So if you're into your cinema and you want a visual feast and a phenomenal amount of storytelling, check out 10 Canoes. I think it follows, is it the Yirrkala people, or it might be the Yolngu tribe, but one of the tribes up around this way, one of the mobs up around this way. And it's a great movie, filled with laughter and humour, cautionary tales on love, and yeah, quite an incredible film. Hopefully that's the road we're after. I believe that's the road we're after. All good, all good. So let's get some more picture postcards. That's a cool livery, isn't it? I think it's a livery from 55, 56, the Luftwaffe, the re-established Luftwaffe. Yeah, quite good. And really, you just want all of you guys out there to prosper and survive and thrive, because we're the recipients of these the phenomenal amounts of hard work that you put into this stuff. That pressed steel texture, I just love it. I just freaking love it. Great stuff. pretty much due east. Right about now. Alright, let's see where this gets us, eh?
Yankee Papa Golf Victor Traffic Mike Alpha Charlie Charlie 127 miles northwest 1,900 feet inbound touch and go left traffic runway 1 tree.
Perfection. Okay. Yeah. You know what, and of course it's not going to stop us buying more and more amazing aircraft and more amazing add-ons. But honestly, I was ashamed that I'd forgotten about this, that I'd somehow become so enamored of all the other shiny baubles and bits and pieces that I forgot this is the reason I love simming. Somehow this is one of those aircraft that just encapsulates the sheer joy of the immersive factor, if you will. Right, beautiful. So blinking cool. Come down through this bit of a crosswind. Sure feels more like 5 to 10 rather than 5, that's for sure. Oh man, this thing's a beauty. The weathering, you know, the scuff marks, the scarfing. I remember taking this for night flights as well, and similar deal. Just really kind of hits the marks pretty much on all. And the funny thing is, it's not a looker. Aesthetically, it's, you know, it's a kind of generic GA kind of look, but it's still got all the good things happening. I must admit, and it's a totally wanky thing to say up here in simulator land, but
Yankee Papa Golf Victor Traffic Mike Alpha Charlie Charlie 118 miles west 1,700 feet inbound touch and go left traffic runway 1 tree.
Gotcha. Yeah, okay, so we've got a ways. We're just going to take around the waterline here. Should be coming up over the other side there. Oh, where are we? Where are we? We is cool. But yeah, one of the things I really love, and I don't know what, I don't know. I'm of a generation where we'd pour through maps and atlases. Not really pour through them, not as some creepy nerdy fashion, but you kind of get a feel, try and feel out the world. And of course, and when I had the chance to actually travel and see the world a bit, and I thought, okay, yeah, it really is. It's quite a diversity you just cannot consider. And of course, one of the great joys of growing up and older is you know, we can't realistically you know, you can't imagine it all. So getting out there and seeing it, and one of the things, and you've heard me bang on about this if you watched any of the other bloody videos, is there's so many places that you think this simulator prompts you to think, gee, you know, maybe you should go over, save up your pennies and get over there and check this joint out, put it on your bucket list, man. And I think it's quite cool that a simulator or a computer set of arrays, C++ and assembler, and Java and WASM and all the rest of it can conspire to instill in one that sense of wonder. I think that is absolutely amazing. You know, when you've got a country as diverse as this, you kind of really, you really feel it. And having taken off from Lilydale, gentle green pastel colours of Victoria, out over the desert, and then up the west coast of West Australia, and then up along the top with, you know, jungle to heated lands, and over cities and swamps. I marvel at it. And this aircraft is so goddamn good for it. So damn good for it. Brilliant. I don't know, I imagine there'll be a mining pit up there. That won't be mine though.
Yankee Papa Golf Victor Traffic Mike Alpha Charlie Charlie 18 miles west, 2,200 feet inbound touch, and go left traffic runway 1 tree.
Gotcha. So that actually looks more like mine. This looks like Gove down here. We're just going to divert for a bit. Because I'm pretty sure this is Gove down here. There we go. Okay, cool. That makes sense. Alright, we're just going to start kicking it back. Gently coming off. Actually, you know what? They were open. I don't think it's going to make too much difference up here at this height now. So, we shall... Oh, try and just lose a bit of speed. Yeah. Thank you. I think from memory you got to be under around 110. We're good for flaps. We're good for a second stage. Just gonna watch that wind. Right, so this will be Gove right here. I'm going to give her a third stage. you right down. Yeah, this will be go. Should announce final, but you know, we don't, do we? Nobody likes the ATC up here anyway. I guess that's the next big breakthrough. Hopefully that's coming in 2023. Noises towards that end, but it's like coming in at a 500 per minute, pelting towards the ground, shaking the shit out of the airframe. I'm a bad human being. I am a shocking person, treating these aircraft the way I do. But hey, I do it with love. Hopefully we're over the line. Hopefully the turbulence isn't going to give us too much stick. And hopefully we are going to do the right thing. And we're down. We're down. Was she butter? Not quite. Was she good enough? She was more than good enough. More than good enough. So this is the Piaggio P149D, or the Focke Wulf FW149D, should you choose to call it that. Number of cool liveries now, $32 thereabouts, up on the website, the AT Simulations website. If you know anything more about the company, please leave a comment down below. I'd be keen to know, because like I said, based around this and the Kri when I got them, there's a lot of positive talk about these cats. So it's just a shame to think that all that talent might have just gone to the wind. Looks like they're here for me. They know of my heinous crimes of abusing aircraft. Get her out of the international sector. Don't want to get sucked up into the likes of a 737 or a Dreamliner or anything. You know what? This is perfect. So that's it. And that was Gapuwiyak to Yirrkala, or Gove. All good. Alright, let's shut this puppy down. Hop out and have a squiz at the world around us, eh? Before I sign off to you, good people. Of course, I didn't even bother turning the blinking booster back on, did I? No.
Clear prop.
Good. 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 Love it. I love this little critter. It is so cool. Right, let's hop out. Latch open, slide you back. Come on, Bubba. Might try that from my own side, shall we? Okay, so that's the one. Hop out. Let's have a look at Gove, Frolic. Go and annoy the people, the locals. Check out the magic levitating 150s. All very nice. Alright, big beautiful world. Shut me up. Hope you have a grand day, night. Be safe, be kind to others, etc. I'll catch you later. Bye.